could touch the alien's hand and hear the cries of strange birds and watch them wheel in another sky, would that satisfy you?
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Doctor Who's first ever story, An Unearthly Child, or Tribe of Gum, or 100,000 BC as it was also known. I recently watched this, having not seen it for about the last 25 years. It was first broadcast on 23rd of November 1963, which was the day after the Kennedy assassination. It was written by an Australian, Anthony Coburn. Being the first story, it introduces the first Doctor along with his granddaughter Susan Foreman. I really enjoyed the first episode. It deals really well with Susan's teachers, Ian and Barbara's discovery of the TARDIS, and, in particular, Ian's disbelief at what he is seeing. It couldn't really have been a better opening episode to the whole show. The first episode had to be great in order to bring the audience back the following week. I particularly enjoyed William Hartnell's portrayal of the Doctor during this episode, being slightly aloof and somewhat condescending.
Not quite clear, is it? I can see by your face that you're not certain. You don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Never mind.
He seemingly has no interest in human beings at this point, and he's quite prepared to electrocute those.
I'll have to risk it myself.
I can't stop you.
Ian! What on earth do you think you're doing?
It ends with the TARDIS dematerialising from the junkyard with all four aboard and landing on an unknown rocky terrain. The second episode is called The Cave of Skulls, and this is when each Doctor Who episode had individual titles, as opposed to just the main story title. This episode dragged a bit for me, as there was far too much time spent on the caveman, Cal and Zar, arguing about who could start a fire and who couldn't, and who is the leader of the tribe. The Doctor realises, of course, that he can make fire, although he can't find his matches. The episode ends with the travellers captured and taken to the cave, which, as the title suggests, has some skulls in it. The third episode is called The Forest of Fear. The travellers spend most of the episode trying to escape the cave, and manage to do this with the assistance of the old mother, who is the mother of Zar. Barbara, seeing the corpse of a wild pig, screams hysterically for some time.
Oh, she's just been killed. By a larger animal, too. Quiet.
I found this strange, as surely she has seen similar in her local butcher's window. They make their way back to the TARDIS, only for Cal and his gang to be there waiting for them. It's not exactly clear how they managed to arrive ahead of the Doctor and his team, as they had a considerable head start over Cal. Still, it is a decent cliffhanger. The fourth and last episode is titled The Firemaker. Ian manages to make fire for Zar by rubbing sticks together. This was on the basis that if Ian made fire, that Zar, who has since killed Cal to become the undisputed leader of the tribe, would let them go. Zar then seeks to renege upon the agreement. The travellers then use lit torches in skulls to scare the tribe and make haste back to the TARDIS. They then dematerialise and land on a strange planet where, as the travellers leave the TARDIS, the radiation needle on the centre console suddenly jolts to the danger zone, and the episode and the story ends. The ratings average for each episode was 5.9 million. The story polled at number 10 out of 29 stories in the Doctor Who Monthly 60-year poll for the first Doctor stories. It also polled 78th out of 241 in the Doctor Who Monthly 2014 Big Poll, although this includes some New Who stories. It was novelised as Doctor Who and An Unearthly Child by Terence Dicks in 1981. The story was released in edited form on BBC Home Video in 1990. An Unearthly Child was repeated on 30th of November 1963, immediately before The Cave of Skulls was transmitted, as many viewers had been unable to see the original transmission due to a widespread power failure. As the first Doctor Who story to be screened, An Unearthly Child is assured of its place in television history. One of the main purposes of the story is to introduce viewers to the four regular characters, and in this it succeeds admirably. The Doctor, superbly played by William Hartnell, is an enigmatic and at times almost sinister figure, and viewers are left intrigued and wanting to know more. Overall, I found it to be an enjoyable story and a good start. I would rate it as 7 out of 10, mainly just for the first episode alone. I hope you enjoyed this brief review of the story, and that you will join me again for the next story, The Daleks. Until then, goodbye.